Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial, and today we've got a heck of an unboxing video for you. I am reasonably confident that Battleship New Jersey is now the most well-armed battleship in history. That statement is pre-dependent on the fact that you consider the battleship with her missile armament to be a more powerful warship than she was with her anti-aircraft guns during World War II. But given the range and destructive power of the Tomahawk and Harpoon missiles, I think that's a safe thing to say. We don't necessarily have the most guns of any time in an Iowa-class battleship history, or a battleship, but given our modern missiles and the gun systems that are still on board, I think it's safe to say that Battleship New Jersey is now the most armed battleship in history. So, in addition to our 9 16-inch guns that we've had throughout the ship's career, the Iowa class retained 12 of their 5-inch guns, and they got 4 phalanx close-in weapon systems, 32 Tomahawk cruise missiles, which were nuclear capable, and we're reasonably certain that Battleship New Jersey carried some. We've found the keys for launching them, 16 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and in the 1980s, she would have also carried 4 .50 caliber machine guns. Up until now, the museum had 2 .50 caliber machine guns on display. And now the Navy has sent us an additional 7 to put up. Iowa-class battleships in the 1980s had 8 tripod mounts, 4 on each side of the main deck, spaced fairly evenly from the bow to the stern. And they had 4 guns, so if you were expecting action at the bow or on the starboard side because that's where you're tied up to the pier, or the port side because that's where boats would be coming from, then you would set up your 4 guns on whichever axes you thought was most threatened. Additionally, Battleship New Jersey was outfitted to receive a 25mm Mark 38 Bushmaster chain gun that she never received, and the museum now has 2. So in addition to having twice as many 50 cals plus the 25mm she never had, we also have a 40mm anti-aircraft gun from World War II and 2 20mm guns on board, plus the quadruple Zuni rocket launcher. So, as the only Iowa-class battleship that has a complete battery of original phalanxes, Tomahawks, Harpoons, and the only one with 25mm, and now the only one with not just a complete battery of 50 cals, 2 complete batteries of 50 cals, we are now, as a museum, in 2025, the most heavily armed battleship in history. These 7 new 50 caliber guns were just loaned to the museum from Naval History and Heritage Command. Naval Weapons Station Earl had these demilitarized guns as training weapons, and we asked for them to transfer it to us. They did not have a mechanism to transfer the guns from them straight to us, so Naval History and Heritage Command was willing to support us and accept these as artifacts in their collection, and they join roughly 80 other objects that we have on board the ship that are on loan from Naval History and Heritage Command. Some things like our missile launchers and phalanxes come from NHHC, and some things like the 12-inch shell that the Alaska-class battle cruisers would have fired, but isn't original to New Jersey, are also from NHHC. Now, unfortunately, because they're on loan, I can't transfer them to anyone else. So now Battleship New Jersey went from having 2 50 caliber machine guns to having 9. That is the 8 we need on the tripods around the ship, plus 1 extra, which we can either put on display in one of the small arms lockers below decks, or put on some sort of rolling cart. Like Battleship Texas has a really cool thing with a 20mm gun on a cart that they take to parades and they take to conventions and things like that where they're tabling. And now we have our equivalent that we can do that with as well. Or my ideal would be at some point in the near future, if we're able to acquire a World War II era Willys Jeep that we can put on display, then we can take one of these, the extra gun that we have, and mount it on that. So if you happen to know somebody who's looking to get rid of a Willys Jeep, hit your most armed battleship up. Those of you who have visited the ship before know that we have sound effects with the 2 guns that are on display currently. When you pull the triggers down, it makes a shooting sound. That is part of the long-term plan for these. By the end of the week, these are going to be reassembled and mounted on the tripods we have. Thanks to the Navy down here at the Philadelphia Navy Yard, we were able to find 4 more of the mounts for these during the most recent open house last month. And so now we've got the guns to put in those mounts. The volunteers have already put the mounts up. So probably before the end of the week, the volunteers will get these mounted in the mounts, and then it'll be a while before we're able to do all the technical stuff to make them make noise. But that won't keep us from being the most well-armed battleship in history. This is one of the coolest acquisitions we've gotten so far in 2025. This is one of the things I had on my wish list less than 2 months ago, and now here we have them. We're really checking things off that list quick. Might have to start a new list in June because we'll be finished with the January one. What do you think would be really cool for the battleship to acquire next? I really want a Pioneer drone. Let us know in the comment section down below what you think would look good on board. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We would like to thank Naval Weapons Station Earl and Navy History and Heritage Command for helping us acquire these. And we'd like to thank all of you for your support. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate towards the ongoing restoration of the battleship. We are 1 mount short, which is going to cost us about $6,500 if we buy one, if we can't find one laying around. So if you happen to have a 50 cal mount or $6,500 laying around, we really appreciate the support. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about our museum, our channel, and the restoration efforts we're going through. Thanks for watching.